Hey everybody, welcome back to Princess Friend. I am your host, Princess Friend. Today's review is for a rare CD that not a lot of people even know about. It's called the Versace Experience. If you want to stay in the loop, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you are notified directly whenever we put out a new video. This was released July 8th, 1995, about 2 months before the Gold Experience was released, and it was only given away to attendees of the Versace collection at Paris Fashion Week that year. That was also where Prince got on stage with Maite and the New Power Generation, did that amazing Pussy Control performance there. It was filmed on VH1. I used to have it up on my channel. It got taken down, of course, but yeah, it was amazing. And this was kind of a pre-release for the Gold Experience, just for those people who got to attend the Versace Experience. It not only contained edited versions of the tracks on the Gold Experience, with Prince replacing the Gold Experience with the Versace Experience, you have now accessed the Versace Experience, and it sounds really cool and stuff.
Welcome to the dawn. You have just accessed the
Versace Experience.
But also has a few tracks from albums that had already been released or ones that had never been released. So it's pretty exciting. Since some of the tracks are literally just cut from the Gold Experience, I'm gonna skip a lot of those and I'm just gonna tell you what they are. So it starts off with the Pussy Control Club Mix, which is pretty close to the version found on Crystal Ball, mixed with a little bit of the version that he performed at Paris Fashion Week. Then there's a excerpt. Then there's Get Wild in the House, which I actually covered in the Get Wild maxi single review. Good version though, I really like that version. Then there's the I Hate You remix, which we just covered, and it's actually a mishmash of the remix and the Eric's Leeds version kind of mishmashed together. Then there's the 319, Shy, and Billy Jack Bitch excerpts, and those are also excerpts. Then there's an excerpt from a track called Sunny T, which I hadn't actually heard. It's a pretty interesting little interlude. And now we can get to the additional tracks that you can't really find other places. So Rootie Kazootie was the second track from the Madhouse album 24 that never saw the light of day. If you recall, there was another track called 17 that was one of the ones on 24, and that one was off of 1-800-New-Funk. This is also an edited version of that track though, so the full version of the song had never actually been released. I actually really dig this track a lot. It's jazzy, it's got a really good guitar solo in there, and I really dig it.
Hit me! Kate Moss. Naomi Campbell.
Then there is Chatonette Controle, which is roughly translated to Small Kitty Cat Control. And it's a remix of Pussy Control that lasts a couple minutes long. It's also kind of cut a bit, but mostly it's composed of Prince saying the Versace Experience over and over, followed by the names of the models that would be appearing in the collection runway. There's also a conversation between a French man and a woman, but I don't speak the language and I can't find the translation anywhere. So if any of you know what they're saying, let me know down in the comments.
I don't care what you've been told, Pussy got you in control. I don't care what you've been told, Pussy got you in control. Pussy control.
Then there's Pussy Control Tempo Edit. And this is actually a really cool version that I dig. It's got a fast club beat and it was made for the models to walk down the runway to. It was really cool to see on here, and if you watched the Paris Fashion Week, there's a much longer version of it when they actually are walking the runway. There's honestly not much to it though, and then it cuts to a Kamasutra track. Now this is Overture number 5. So again, it's a super short track. It doesn't necessarily fit in here because it's like a really atmospheric piece. But you know, I'll listen to it. Prince threw it on there. It fit for him. So I'll keep listening and maybe one day I'll get it. But yeah, really, like, sure, why not?
Play the music. Exodus.
Then there's a track called Free the Music, and again, it's a really short track, and it kind of mixes the beat from We March with Get Wild, and then launches into kind of acting like a sampler itself for the Exodus album from the New Power Generation, which we've already also reviewed. It's actually really nice, and if I had heard this, it would make me want to buy the album. I don't know if that applies to everybody, but definitely for me. And then the CD ends with the segue before gold and then going into the gold excerpt. They don't get to hear the cool guitar solo in their version of it, sadly. You have to buy the album for that. But again, just as it ended the gold experience really well, it ends the Versace experience just as well. Since this was only a cassette and only like a handful of them were ever actually made, I never had one. It wasn't even until a few years ago that I got my hands on the digital files for this sampler. It's weird though, because I don't feel like it's 100% necessary to have, except for that Madhouse track. Everything else is cool, but you can also find it in a couple of other places. But that Madhouse track, you need to have that, so you need to have the Versace experience. It's a fun collection for sure. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. I want to thank all of our patrons that have joined since we started our Patreon drive at patreon.com/princessfriend. Here is the amazing wall of gratitude that everybody can see. Also, don't forget to hit us up on Twitter and Instagram. We would love to hear from you in all of our different platforms. And as always, may you live to see the dawn. Thank you to those of you who actually watched the end of the video things here. On that side are links to the Patreon and to the subscribe. And below me is the latest video that we've done, as well as one that is picked special for you. Because you're a special, special snowflake and we love you. Thanks for sticking around.